welcome to Tara. Let's talk about it. I'm your host, Tara. So glad you can join me today. Well, first of all, before we get started, I would like to say, please, please, please go check out my YouTube channel because I'll only be uploading this, just a little snip, a little taste of this on Instagram and on my other social media platforms. But if you would like to view this in its entirety, please go look at my YouTube channel. You'll be able to see that. And when you do, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and also click on that notification bell. Our topic today, how to get started into owning your own home. And today I'm going to introduce my very special guest. She is a Brevard County, Florida native. She graduated from Columbia College at Patrick Air Force Base, earning her AA in General Studies. After completing that, she made it a goal to become a realtor. She said, I had a passion to become a realtor since I was 18, and she purchased her first home in 2007. Go on, girl. She also said through her experience, she realized what it would take to be an exceptional realtor. Purchasing or selling a home is a big deal, she said, and she takes each transaction diligently. Please help me to welcome Miss Leslie Messam. Did I pronounce your name right?
You did.
Yeah.
Hi guys, how are you doing?
Hi. Thank you so much for joining me, Leslie. So we're going to get right into it. Please tell us, what is the first thing we need to do to get started to buying a house?
Well, as Ms. Tara stated, I'm also a realtor and I'm also a loan officer. So the first step into buying, I would say, is consult with either on the retail side. So there's two ways to obtain a mortgage. You can get one like from your local bank, and that's retail, or you can get one from someone like me who is a broker who shops for the best rate for you. We shop different wholesale lenders and we are very competitive, and we don't offer just one product, we offer many products. So the first step to get to being a home buyer, I would say, is reach out to someone who you're going to try to obtain that mortgage from. Do a consultation with them, see where you're at. Don't go paying off things, don't go open up new credit cards. And then they can sort of take a snippet of your profile and just see where you are, see if you're ready to buy or if there's some things you need to improve. When it comes to home buying, the three main factors are, for one, work history. You want to have at least 2 years of work history. When it comes to credit, you want to have a great credit score because that determines your interest rate. So the interest rate can make your payment either higher or lower. And the next thing is your debt, your DTI, your debt to income ratio. So that's the amount of debt that you have compared to the amount of income that you bring in. And you don't want it to be over 50%. You would like it low as possible, you get a better rating on a loan. So those are the things. So what's
Okay, and
next?
you did say, sorry, your credit score. How much does your credit score need to be in order
Well,
for you
right
to?
now, I mean, you can really purchase an FHA loan with a 580. But if you do that, you have to have assets to offset that. You can't get any kind of down payment assistance with that. So you can purchase as low as a 580 if you have your own down payment. If you want to get down payment assistance, like for instance, right now we have a program where you can have a 600 credit score and you can actually get down payment assistance on an FHA loan, which is 3.5%. And then
Okay.
we have another program for the hometown heroes. You need a 640 if you're like in law enforcement or a nurse or any in the medical field. You can get 5% up to, I think it's increasing to 35,000. It was 25,000, but I believe the limit has just increased. You can get that as a down payment, but that loan is not forgivable. So when I say not forgivable, that means you'll have to pay that loan back if you ever sell the house.
Mhm.
Let me take you back to the one that we're doing for 600. That is forgivable after 10 years, and we have two different options. So you can have an option where you get better loan pricing if you pay that down payment back over a 10-year period, and you'll get better loan pricing. And then we have another option where you don't pay it back. And like I said, they both are forgivable. You don't pay it back, but you don't get as good as loan pricing. But you won't have the extra monthly payment to pay that loan back. And after 10 years, it just goes away.
Okay. Well, what if your credit score is not where it needs to be? Do you have
So,
suggestions how to work on that?
so things like credit, when you're getting a mortgage, you don't want to have any disputes on it. You can't have any disputes when you're getting that. Another thing is you want to keep your credit card utilization to 30% or less. So that could be a factor that could be making your score
Mhm.
higher. I'm sorry, lower. So yeah, the credit card utilization is usually one of the big main factors. If all your credit cards are maxed out, that's going to affect your score.
Mm, Man, okay.
Case by case thing. So that's why it's best just to reach out to a mortgage broker or, a retail side of bank and just have a consultation with somebody and see where you are.
Okay. Wow. Okay. What about first home buyers? I heard that you can actually get help with this. Is that true? And if so, please tell us, where can we go?
Well, that's what I was telling you. Like the the down payment assistance that we have is for first time home buyers. So that gives you your down payment. So when it comes to getting a mortgage, the buyer is always responsible for the down payment. Now you can get a gift from a family member. Let's say your mother or your brother or your father want to help you out with them funds, they can. Or we have like this one program I'm telling you about specifically where they give you your down payment. So the next thing that you'll have is closing costs. The closing costs are like things like prepaids, they're like your insurances, your taxes, things like that. The seller can give you concessions to help pay with that. And also you can get a gift for that as well. So we can,
Okay.
on the real estate side, we can negotiate so the seller gives you back some funds to help you cover those costs.
Okay. Thank you. And is it better to rent or own? Is it better to rent or is it better to own? Because I heard some different stories.
Well, you have to think about it. What you pay for your down payment for first license security on a rental,
Mhm.
you could use that as a down payment on a house. So it's definitely better to rent so it's definitely better to own the rent because you got to think about when you rent, you're paying 100% interest. You're not building any kind of equity in that property. So then you're on a fixed price with the increasing rate with the rent right now. People's rents are jumping hundreds of dollars each year. So whenever you own,
Mhm.
you are in a more fixed foundation on what you can expect to pay every month. So I would definitely say that buying is better than renting.
Yes.
Then you
I
don't have a
can-
landlord, can't even tell you what to do. You can actually
Yeah.
be, God forbid, if you was late, you don't want to be late, but if you were late, you're not going to get evicted.
There you go.
You
So,
know, they do work.
yeah, I agree because I was thinking about that too, rent and owning, but I think it's better to own. Okay,
Yeah.
any more advice you can give to those who are wanting to get out of an apartment
hmm
and land into a house?
Right. So if you're serious about buying, you need to first and foremost try to save as much as you can. I know it's hard to save today with the inflation and everything increasing, but try to keep as much money in your account as possible. Cut down on frivolous spendings. You want to work on your credit and make sure you keep your job because you're gonna need that job. And I'll just give you a little step on what happens whenever you buy a house, just to give a little glimpse of what happens through the process. So first, you
Okay.
go, you get pre-approved from whoever you're going to get it from, like someone like me. I'm a mortgage broker. You reach out to me, fill out my application, turn in documents, I get you pre-approved, see if you qualify. Then the next step will be get in touch with a realtor so you can start house shopping. Once you start house shopping, you get that property, you're going to see a lot of houses. You might put in a lot of offers and not your first offer may not get accepted. So you can't give up. It can be a little frustrating and things like that, but you just got to stay in there for the long haul. So let's say you get something under contract that your offer gets accepted. Then you're going to do something called an earnest money deposit. It's like a good faith estimate. You're just putting down this money. Usually it's typically 500 to 1,000, just depending on the purchase price of the property. You put that, it's held at the title company, and that will account for the funds that are going to be due whenever the property closes. So it's not just money that goes away. You do get that money accounted for. So you get the escrow deposit in there. You have 3 days usually from the day that you want a contract to do that. The next step you're going to do is you're going to get a home inspection. It's not required by law to get a home inspection, but it is highly recommended because you want to know what you're purchasing. You're not going to go buy a car and not inspect it if it's used. So same thing with a house. If it's a used house and even new houses, you want to get an inspection. So you get past inspection, your realtor negotiates if there's any repairs that need to be fixed, or if you feel like you want to adjust the purchase price, that's what happens in that inspection period. It's typically default 15 days, but typically realtors, to make their offer more savvy, they'll put 7 days or 10 days because the seller doesn't want his property to be off because you can cancel with no questions asked within that inspection period. So you don't want to waste your time. You want to get it done as soon as possible. So if you want to know if you're moving forward with the property, and then the seller too wants to know if you're moving forward with their property as well. So after the inspection is done and everything's negotiated, it's a green light, we're gonna go. Within that inspection, you're gonna get some forms. There's a 4-point and a wind mitigation, which now you need to obtain insurance. 99% of the time, you have to have them forms to be able to get an accurate insurance quote. As the insurance world has once again increased, insurance companies have been bankrupt. Insurance is
Ooh.
ridiculously high on houses right now. It's actually been to the point where it can determine if you qualify for a property or not, depending on how much that policy is. So you want to make sure that you're getting a property that's in good condition as far as the roof, everything like that, because you want to get a good insurance quote. So after we get to the insurance, then we're going to order your appraisal. Your appraisal is going to be what's done to determine the value of that property, because the bank will not give you more than what that property is worth. So let's say you're under contract for 200,000, but the house only appraises for 190, then there's going to be a problem. The seller's going to have to come down on that price in that instance. But hopefully, say you're under contract for 200,000 and it appraises for 210, now you have 10,000 in positive equity in the property. So that's all about the agent knowing what to offer, looking at the comps, and hopefully hoping that it appraises for at least value, if not more. Or if it underappraised, I always like to have a conversation with the seller that says, hey, if this property doesn't appraise, are you going to be willing to come down on it, on the price? So everyone knows beforehand. So in the meantime, while all that's being done, your loan on the loan side will be being submitted to underwriting to get a conditional approval. Once you get that conditional approval, hey, this loan's going to be approved with these certain conditions. And then after all that, then, the final package comes out, and then we're at the closing table.
Yay! And there you go. Wow, just like Leslie said, guys, I know it's hard, and I know it's hard to save these days, but you just got to keep pressing forward and find someone like Leslie to help you get that home.
I explain everything to everybody, and I'm always looking out for the buyer's best interest, or whether it's the seller or the buyer, whatever situation that I'm on. I'm always looking out for that individual's best interest.
And I can tell you're very compassionate about your job, and
Yeah.
you're here to help the people, and that's what people want these days. People who are compassionate and people who are there to help and be there for them. And you're doing great. You lift a burden off of everyone's shoulders. I know you do. So, Leslie, tell the people where they can get in contact with you at, because I'm pretty sure they want to know.
Okay, so you can give me a call. My number is 321-537-7118. You can email me at leslie@flhome, HOME, and AND loan, LOAN.com. Or you can look me up on Facebook and send me a message on Facebook. My name is Leslie Messam on Facebook. So any of those 3 ways, and then I can, if you want to move forward, I can send you my application. I also have a website, and it's LeslieSellsHomeAndLoans.com, I believe. I just started it, so let me just double check that. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me just confirm I'm saying it right.
Yes, confirm it, girl. People want to know.
Yeah, I'm on my website. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, and guys, just like Leslie said, when you do these steps, make sure you write your notes down, take your notes down, and make sure you're able to go step by step from what she said, because you don't want to just jump into something, because then that's not good.
And don't pay off nothing. One good thing is we do not account for charge-offs for the medical side. So if you have any collections that are medical, we do not look at those. So my website is LeslieSellsHomesAndLoans.com. So it's not like my email, Leslie@flhomeandloan.com. It's LeslieSellsHomes with an S and loans.com.
Thank you, Leslie, so much. Thank you for joining us, and great info. And thank you for joining us, everyone, right here on Tara. Let's talk about it. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.